Alright, welcome to floor 11. So, at this point, I'm really going to be focusing more on this guy and resources at this point to make it through the next level. Floor 11 is basically the last level before you get to floor 12, and floor 12 is basically going to be just direly, lacking in resources. So for floor 11 here, I'm basically going to focus on getting as much resources for the next level, and finishing up anything I really want to do. So, finishing up, say, research on Suppressive Firebolt, Autodoc Shards, getting a nice little stockpile of science for Nanner here, getting some food to heal these guys if we need it, and stuff like that. And I'll note by the way that I haven't had to heal these guys at once this entire Let's Learn, but that is something that you may have to do, likely a lot in yours. So just bear in mind that I'm getting really lucky not having to heal my guys, but there may come a time when I may have to, and you'll likely have to the first time or second time or even 12th time you do it this game. Okay, let's go up here first, and let's go with food here. Let's go to this door, and crap, we get no major module in there, but it's self-powered, so I'll be happy about that. Let's hit this door down here, and I'll put down, nice, a surviving kit. The note, by the way, that besides the tools belt here, the surviving kit is another item that gives you the repair ability. And it's also really nice as well because it gives you some defense and HP regen. This is a really nice thing to have around if you need. And I like to put this on operators that have to defend, or someone like say Gork or Nanner if I basically want them to go around repairing stuff as well. Really nice item. Let's go open this door next. We got a toxic cloud. That's not a good place for it, but oh well. Let's send these guys over in this direction. And there's a nice little room to defend in. And we got Herna Warriors this time around. So he's dead. Alright, due to the lack of dust, we're going to use Max Explore up here a little bit, I guess, above Golgi. In this room, then, I'll put down... You know what? Let's actually make use of the bioorganic transference so you can actually see how this works. So I'm going to put this here. And maybe I'll put down some of this other stuff as well. We'll put down the Autodoc Shards. I'll put down the Dust Field Generator. I'll put down the Suppressive Firebolt. And... I'll put down our Suppressive Firebolt. So I'll note that in this room now, enemies basically have fought in that room. They're going to have to go for heroes that are going to be much more powerful offensively, defensively, with HP regen, and the ability to basically heal up whenever they kill the monsters in there. And if I look at the stats of these guys, if I move him out of here, he has 138 DPS, 61 defense, and no HP regen. If we move him back in here, he has 237 DPS, 113 defense, and 23 HP regen. So there's a benefit basically having all these types of monsters in this room. Now these monsters won't actually kill the enemies. The heroes will be the ones doing all the work. But these are good monsters to have around eventually when you have very high-powered heroes like I do now. With the exception of Gork here, who doesn't really have a weapon, all my heroes, Golgi and Max, they're gonna be inflicting massive DPS and having a little bit more defense to basically back up the claim. So good stuff all around. Alright, let's go up here a little bit. There's some dust. I can use that to power up this room. Let's put down some science here. And I'll move Nanner over here. So Nanner will basically have 8 DPS, 73 defense, and 2 HP regen. 146 DPS, 162 defense, 25 regen. So these are great things to have when you have lots of heroes around. There's an item to pick up. Looks like a Herna Warrior came to me. Uh oh! Alright, so I want you to pay attention to this guy right here. And let's do this quickly for now. This, like, sort of like green, like, you know, glob, like mudman type of thing right here. This is a really dangerous monster. It's basically like the big bird of like little, like, you know, little globs they basically find. And what he will do is he'll basically attack your heroes and not do a whole lot of damage, but he'll basically slow down their attack speed and movement speed. So he's really, really deadly just to have around, because he'll basically cause your heroes to be, like, you know, slow to a crawl. And it'll basically help the other monsters in the room a lot. And I'll know if I basically have Max sit in his room, you can actually see how slow he is. Much, much slower attack speed. It looks like he can handle this room by himself, so we're fine, I guess. But basically he's been slowed down to a crawl there. And now he's back up to full. So this is going to be probably a good level that I'm going to do exploration with Max with. Because he basically, you know, is got this run away ability, I'm going to be using Max basically to explore because he'll be able to avoid a lot of the you know, the gun from those guys. But also to know, by the way, this is also a good time to use Aftershave. Because those guys are so bad to get attacked by, if I basically put on Aftershave, Max will be able to avoid being attacked by those guys when he's basically out and about in these, like, unpowered rooms. And at the same time, we're going to go down to Gork here, and I'm going to give him the Hipster Scarf. So I'm giving him the Hipster Scarf and giving Max the Aftershave. Basically, Max will be able to avoid being attacked now, and Gork is going to be the only one attacked when he basically gets attacked down here in his room. So Nana and Gulchi will be able to attack whoever attacks the other stuff in this room. Doing that will basically allow Gork here to basically tank all the hits and, like, be slowed down by his monsters, while these guys will do all the killing, without being, you know, threatened by those guys if they come after them. Because those guys will only go after, like, you know, Gork when he's basically got the, you know, meet first ability on him. So, item management, fun! Let's go explore with Max a little bit more. Alright, so, whoop. That red crystal guy right here, that's a bulldozer. So, you want to be very careful of these guys, because they will, like, obliterate your modules if they get close to them. And this seems like a good point to maybe use the cooker of gas. So, I'll note down here that everyone's going to attack Gork over here, so... that's good. Alright, now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm moving Max around like this, it might make sense for me to actually change around his zone device. The zone device basically has this Neurostun Light ability on it, if you recall. Right here. This is actually a good ability to maybe put on Max because I basically got the Aftershave on him. And combined with, like, you know, the Aftershave, this will basically let me slow down monsters with Max, while he'll basically be unable to be attacked by them. So, it's a nice little, like, good combo of items to have around. And then we'll get a little bit more defense, Chef Nano over here from that. Okay, let's just push on a little bit more. So, I want to note something, by the way. Because I have those bulldozers running around, those, like, guys that'll basically, the big crystal guys that'll go after my, my modules, I really don't like this level a lot. So, this may be the first level that you see me maybe book it from. Really, really early, perhaps. We'll see. And I'll note that these rooms are connected down here. That's a nice stairway to find. Now, I'll note by the way that I probably shouldn't be opening this door or that door. Basically, because there's Hermit Riders running around, they may be able to open these doors on me by accident. And if they open these doors like these ones right here, monsters may funnel down in this direction toward the crystal instead of coming down over here. So, I'm basically going to try and avoid opening doors over here, I guess. And we'll just go down this direction a little bit more. Alright, here's the exit. So, I want to note, by the way, at this point, because I've basically got those bulldozers on a level, if I was, like, feeling really scared and this was, like, say, easy difficulty, I would probably take the crystal and book it to the exit at this point. But I think I'm pretty confident basically hold off stuff if we need to, so we'll basically just ignore this for now, but we'll keep in mind that we can exit the dungeon when we need to at this point because we have the exit here. Here's the last room in this direction. Now, I'll note, boy, the nice thing about Max having the aftershave is that he can actually go over to this room over here, where the Hermit Rider will be, and I can actually use him to go kill the Hermit Rider before it basically knocks down the door, without him worry about him being attacked. And by the looks of it, I got the wizards as well as the Hermit Riders to worry about. Whoa! Okay, it looks like we've got the kamikaze demons around. Those kamikaze suicide bombers. So this is the aftermath of basically one of those bombers going off. As you can see, everything in the room got damaged. That's basically from one of those guys that basically will detonate on you. Too bad I missed it, but you'll probably see it in the future. Now as you can see, it opened that door at Hermit Rider, so now I basically have more of these guys to worry about. Luckily, the Hermit Rider spawned, and I'll note by the way, a Hermit Rider can't spawn after, like, you know, a door opens. The Hermit Rider that spawned for this wave is now going down here, which is fine. So, that's good. Alright, I'm actually going to leave Max in this room right here, I think. And I'll note that I have to be very careful over here. So let's go with cooking with gas right now. There's a Hermit Rider trying to get down to that door over here, so I had to pass down after my defenses anyway, so... Alright, it's kind of hard to make up, but this purple guy right here, he's like the kamikaze guy, so... What happened? One of these guys basically walked down into this room and blew himself up, so you're probably going to see this in a moment. Where he basically is going to go down here and blow himself up. Or Max will kill him. Alright, well, that was a lot of, you know, fun. It's certainly something to watch out for when that sort of happens, but oh well. Alright, let's open up the doors perhaps over in this direction, I guess. There's the last room up this way. And that's self-powered. It looks like no monster spawn, which is nice. So let's open up this door. Excellent. Alright, well, with those guys not spawning, I'm actually tempted to go down this direction perhaps, and well, let's open up the doors over in this direction. I'll build down some Tesla modules in case those bulldozers come, you know, from this door over here. Well, let's keep going. But before I do, I'll note by the way that I have a lot of food. Now, because this is very easy, I probably won't need this much food for next level. So I'm going to go use it to basically level up Chef Nair over here another couple levels. That'll give him cooking with gas level 2, which will basically do more damage and give me more probability for dust. And I think we'll also level up Gork 2 levels as well. That'll give him me first, which will basically, you know, get him more defense when I basically use that ability and becomes, you know, more pure tankish. Alright, here's a research artifact. Starting that now. Uh-oh! So, you see this little red bar? This indicates how close we are to having that, you know, Hermit Rider blow up through that door. So, unfortunately, he's about to get through that door because he's already spawned in that room. So unfortunately he got through that room and I now got one little door here between me and the stuff up here. That's something to worry about a little bit. Alright, so that, as you saw that like a little bit inflating animation there, that's the, you know, the demon trying to blow himself up. Or the kamikaze here. And maybe it'll blow up this time. Boom. Now, as you basically saw, all my monsters in this room just got destroyed. So you want to be very careful of those guys. Now, luckily, whenever they blow up like that, those like, you know, self-destruct demons or enemies like that, they'll basically cause, you know, damage to all the other monsters in the room along with them. So they're not entirely bad, but you want to be very careful because they can basically, as you can see, just destroy, you know, your defenses easily enough. And I have to basically rebuild these. So we'll build a dust field generator, suppressive firebolt, Autodoc, bioorganic transference, and another suppressive firebolt. So that was pretty bad with that guy happening there. But oh well. Now, in hindsight of the fact that, you know, there's only one door between me and over here, I'm actually going to build a bunch of Tesla coils right over here. Just in case this door does get open, that'll be at least some defense, just in case. And thinking about it as well, maybe I'll just power up those rooms as well, just to reduce some of the inflow that's coming at my guys here. So far, I haven't had to worry about these guys being overwhelmed because there's lots, you know, of stuff powering up here and they're pretty, you know, they got good items and levels. But you want to be very careful nonetheless. And let's get him to me first, number 2. So note that this basically gives him like, you know, 70 defense when he basically uses War Cry. Now he basically gets 110 defense. So that's pretty good. Now I'll note, boy, that the maximum level for your heroes is level 15. But it's probably not a good idea to go level 15 unless you really want to basically power up your heroes. Getting them all level 13 is probably overkilling it by a lot, but I have a lot of extra food, so it's probably fine. And I'm still gonna get extra food in this level as well. Just as long as I find, you know, slots to put down mission module slots, I'll basically keep pumping out my food quite a bit. Alright, I'm gonna build a bunch of these in here again. Actually, no, let's also build a pepper spray. Pepper spray will work on those bulldozers much like anything else, so long as the bulldozers are the toughest monster in the room. Open up this door. Now, Max is moving a little bit fast. It's worth noting that I actually found a stalemate here that actually increases speed. So here's a really good stalemate to find. This is actually the best stalemate I think in the game. Basically, it gives you a movement speed bonus to your heroes, so that makes them move at twice the speed. Alright, so I want to note by the way that we got 2 learn signs here. There's actually 200 riders on this level, so we got basically one going down over here, one over here. Which is just fine, because we'll have to pass through the defenses over here in this direction. And you know what? Let's actually do this right now. We're going to build a neurostone right here. I'll build a tear gas right here. And I'll build a bunch of SC blasters right here. And we'll do the same thing up here, maybe with like a neurostunner, a pepper spray, and let's build another SC blaster. This should basically, you know, be a good little defense for up here, I think. Now notice, by the way, that, this is something to note, by the way. These defenses build a lot slower when there's monsters around. They build almost instantly when you basically have no monsters on the floor, but if there are monsters present, then they'll actually build a lot slower, so they're not as useful basically to build these during like a fight like this. Oh. Apparently a 300 riders. One of them was actually targeting one of these other doors, apparently. That's something to note, by the way. Sometimes her riders can target the same door. You want to be very careful of that. And you know what? This is going to probably hurt Gork a lot, but we're going to go in here. And I'm going to basically make him absorb some of the damage from these guys before they basically blow up the stuff in here. So because these guys will blow up in here, or not. Cool. That works. No, I'm fine with that. Sure. So apparently this defense of up here and up here was actually enough to kill the stuff that was coming at me. I'm all for that. Alright, let's go down here. I'll build a bunch more Tesla modules. And that's the last room for this direction. I'll build one more food replicator here for more food surplus. I'll do 1, 2, 3. Okay. There's my Suppressive Firebolt. So I'll be able to get that up to 4. At this point, I'll probably start building science modules on the floor on any empty spots I find. And we'll send you over here. Let's build some Tesla modules in this direction then. That's a nice room. Power that down. We'll power this up. Here's the science creator to basically get more science with. I'll put a neurostar in here. I'll put tear gas in here, pepper spray, and 2 Tesla modules. On no point, I'm sort of like putting defenses down randomly. If you actually have like a good feel for like how defenses work, then build them however you want. But I'm basically throwing them down in various variations just so you can see how they basically operate, and also just to see like different combinations of weapons that you can basically do if you want in a dungeon. I'll note this is probably not the most optimal defense, especially since this is a big wide room where area attacks are probably more effective. But it's still something to note. Basically, you can have like a long run in a room like this. Slow him down with a neuro stunner. A tear gas basically hurt him a little over time. These things that target like the anti-monster monsters, just trying to take out like the strongest monster. All good stuff that we can basically do. And you know what? I should probably keep opening doors down this direction, I guess, at this point. But before I do, I found a power suit. This is actually a really good suit to put on. This actually gives you a nice little defensive bonus at the cost of speed, so I figure I'll put this on Nanner here, which will basically increase its defense by 4 at the cost of free speed. And for Gork here, maybe I'll put on the RT shirt at this point, because even though HP and HP regen are nice, Gork doesn't really need either at the moment, so we're gonna put this on instead. So that's all that. It'd be really nice if I could find a machine gun for somewhere, but I have yet to find one. Oh well. That's another nice room. And we found some self-help buds. They're nice. Alright, doesn't look like I got any Herner Riders around, so that's cool. Now, I'll note by it's probably a bad thing I built these SE blasters because they'll basically harm my heroes if I put them in these rooms, but whatever, I'll basically put Max in this room up here. Uh oh. So yeah, if you see one of those monsters start to inflate at all, as soon as they start to inflate, it means they're going to detonate in a moment, so you may want to move your heroes away from it at that moment. Yeah, I'm moving Max up here to basically slow these monsters down a little bit, as well as to injure him a little bit. And I'll use Nanner to basically use his cooking of gas at this point, perhaps. That worked out pretty well. So I'm happy about that little, mix up there. Now, I'll note by that these self-help buds I found, these are also another wit increasing item. And I think that they might be better than these Nanobros in some ways, but I'll note that they're a little bit less wit for more defense and more attack power, as opposed to HP regen that the Nanobros that basically give over here. So Nanobros are basically a good wit item that basically gives some HP regen, while these are like a good, standby. Technically, I think these might be better than a rescue kit, in a way. Actually, no, let's just do this. At this point, I'm actually kind of more concerned about, Golgi being able to defend herself and do more damage, so these are actually going to help out a lot on that, in that aspect. Basically, these both give attack power, and they both give good wits, so they're, better for, me than right now, for, than this thing right here. So that, we'll basically go with that for now. I'm getting pretty good, resource generation, so I'm pretty, happy in that front, so I think I'm good. Okay, Neural Stunner. Let's build some tear gas. And a pepper spray. Let's build an SC blaster too. So there's a nice little bit of defense. There it goes again. You want to be very careful of those guys that explode on you like that. Pepper spray is probably one of the worst defenses for those guys, by the way, so it might actually make sense for me to start turning down the pepper spray, because these things are actually possibly going to be more of a hindrance than a blessing to me at this point, for like those type of monsters. Essentially, some monsters are like weak to certain like defenses, so like, you know, the SC Blast is great against like really strong monsters, or not really strong, really weak monsters that are very plentiful. But the pepper spray, for example, that's very good against strong monsters, but it's very like, okay, let me start over again. Defenses basically have their strengths and weaknesses, you know, against certain monsters. The SC Blast is good against weak monsters that are very plentiful, but it's not very good against strong monsters. The pepper spray is good against strong monsters, but it's not good against suicide monsters. Tear gas is pretty good against, like, you know, both strong monsters and plentiful monsters, but it's not really good against, like, you know, monsters that aren't really too strong or too weak, or don't have any defenses at all really to speak of. You basically have to sort of plan your defenses based on the monsters that you're basically fighting. So, for example, the Tesla Coils are good against those bulldozers because they'll basically target the bulldozers first before they target anything else. Stuff like that. Think about what your defenses do, plan accordingly as a result of placing them. Alright, well, let's go down here next. There's the spare room to basically look at. Actually, we'll stay in here a little bit to kill his stuff. Never heard where a rider spawned, but he's going over here, which is nice. And, why, we'll do this right now. Restore. And we'll use the cooking of gas too. Get a little bit more dust. Alright, these guys are doing a little bit of a dance, but oh well. Sometimes monsters will dance in a doorway if they're being pepper sprayed. Not a whole lot you can do about it until they basically, you know, stop being pepper sprayed. Alright, so I want to note something. I found something called a thing. This is a pretty good item to find. It basically increases your speed and your attack cooldown by a little bit. I actually would like to put this on over the aftershave for Max if I wasn't, you know, more worried about him being like overwhelmed by like her riders when I basically go to hunt him down. Like, if a her riders to come over here and start opening his door, I want to keep the aftershave just in case, so you know Max can like bolt over and kill it. But if I was to put this on, you'll see that this will actually increase my DPS by 53 and give me +4 speed and +4 wit. This would be opposed to the kitchen gloves, which would basically give me 49 DPS. So, even though like these give me attack power, this gives me attack speed, which is a lot better for Max. So, this is a good item. And I think I'll actually keep it, just in case. At a certain point, I should probably say, by the way, when your inventory is getting really full, you're probably going to get to the point where you want to basically keep certain items, and you won't have, like, you know, more space to basically carry over items to sell to the next merchant. And that's just fine. Basically, keep the items you need for, like, the next floor for your heroes to use or to sell. If you don't have anything, you know, if you don't have enough room for, you know, stuff to sell, then don't worry about it. Just keep the stuff you need to basically get through the next level, next level, next level, next level, blah blah, stuff like that. All right, 3 doors open down here. All right, Deluxe Rifle is another wit increasing item. I'll note that I also increase your HP max, but it's not something I'll worry about too much. I'll note, by the way, this thing is currently not in use. Because I don't plan to use this anymore, this is actually a good opportunity to tear it down. And instead I'll put down perhaps another science creator on top of it. That'll probably be the last module I'll put down because I've already opened quite a bit of rooms, but just to make, you know, maximize my usage of space and such, I'll put that down there. Alright, let's go with Max over to here. Uh-oh. So we got her right over here. If he opens that door, then I'll have to worry about stuff piling down over in this direction. Make Max run away. I might be getting lucky because it might be going in a different direction. Luckily for me. We'll activate cooking with gas here from there a little bit more. Alright, looks like I lucked out. Both of them were coming down in the other direction to basically open the door from this side and, like, you know, this side. That's something I know about the randomness of the Herna riders, by the way. They'll basically open a door, but they'll do it from a random side. So it might be from one side or the other side. And in this case, it tried to open it from this side instead of this side. Which is beneficial. Alright, let's run down here and get some dust, because I see some dust basically hanging around. Let's go down this direction. Hooray! I found a merchant! Alright, this guy. He's got Fuzzy. Finally! I finally found a machine gun. So there we go. There's a machine gun for Gork. It's not the greatest machine gun, but it's good enough. Alright, so at this point, all my guys have pretty good armor on. They all have good, like, equipment. I basically should decide what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to basically throw away. So that's what this guy's for. He's basically for selling stuff too. Alright, so I'll note that I basically want to keep the thing because that's good to basically place over the aftershave. The football whistle is also good to place over the hipster scarf when you want to, but for now I'm basically keeping these equipped on both Max and Gork because they're beneficial for this level. The other stuff, though, I think I can live without. So, sell, 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 sell. Lots of industry for all that selling, so I'm quite happy about that. And I probably should try and keep this guy alive. So, let's power up this room like this. I'll put down some pepper spray. And smoking guns. I'm actually going to bring Nano over here now to basically help defend this guy. Because there's possibilities that there's stuff behind these doors here. And let's just continue. Nothing behind this door. Alright, so this door is under attack again. I'll make Max run all the way over here. It looks like, again, they're going to your side, which is good. So, I want to note something about my defenses here. Because I've got such powerful heroes, and I've got such powerful, like, modules buffing them up, they're basically staying at, like, a full health, these guys, because of the fact that, you know, this thing will basically regenerate them whenever they lose health, if I kill a monster. This thing will basically regenerates whenever they lose health. And then these things are basically keeping them alive. The dust field generator and the suppressor firebolt, letting them basically kill stuff that enters the room, or, you know, reduce the damage from stuff that does manage to get hit on them or so. So, these guys basically don't stand a chance against me. So yeah, you know, defenses, they run a lot of purposes, and, you know, you should try and use them to the best of your abilities at the best of times. Okay, let's move an arrow over here. Now, I'm trying to keep this guy alive because I may find more items to basically sell to him. And this will be like the last chance to really be selling items before I get to floor 12. At which point, I really won't worry too much about merchants that much. Basically, if I find a merchant on floor 12, that's great, but it's likely he'll be killed soon after I basically find him. Let's use cook with gas. And yet again, we got, you know, Hermit Warrior Riders going over for his door again. Let's use that as ability yet again. And that's all dead. A little bit of power for that room. Alright, I think I got a good enough defense over there. I don't need to move Nana again, so... Let's go open a door over here. Now, note by that I was playing a lot of industry to basically build these defenses over here. And it might be, like, you know, not really worth all that much, you know, be spending them. But it's still, you know, I'm just playing it really safe over here, more or less. Okay, here's, like, the second last door of the dungeon. Research module there. I say that's the second last door of the dungeon because there is one more door right here. So it's worth knowing that this door here, this is the last door of the dungeon, right here. Once I open this door, it'll basically be time to pack up and go. Good time to use this right now. Get a little bit more dust before, you know, we get basically exit the level. As you can see, Max took a little bit of damage there. That's just from the SC blasters. Alright, so I want to note something to you right now. Because this is the last door of the dungeon, this is actually a good time to start thinking about escaping. So, I'm going to move Gork, Nanner, and Golgi all the way over to the exit right now. And I'm doing this because of the simple fact that they're essentially going to basically be on the exit. They can basically get out right away. And you know what, we'll actually move Golgi down here, or over here, I think. Now, the reason for basically moving these guys like this is for a simple fact that I can open this door, have Max pick up the crystal, and basically start bolting right from then and there. So basically, you open the last door of the current floor for the dungeon. At the same time, I'm going to have Max grab this crystal, and we're going to start running away now. And that's basically it for this floor. So there's, like, you know, something to think. If you have only a few doors left, and you just want to get the resources from them, a simple way of, like, basically, you know, going about is just basically to open up the door of one hero, and then run the crystal as soon, like, a second right after you open that door to basically get out. And that's it for floor 11. So, floor 12 is the last floor of the dungeon, and I'll basically see you guys when we do it. If I manage to get through floor 12, we win the game. But for now, take care. I'll see you guys next time.